I really appreciate the discussion that I've been following here and wanted to add my thoughts. The loneliness that's described in the loss of identity, I already went through that once when I was excommunicated and was thrown naked into like the burning dumpster. I mean, I had nobody, no support, nothing. The only person I had was my abuser. And so to go through this a second time when I was put back together by LDS therapists, LDS group therapy, LDS bishops, has been gut-wrenching. And like some of you, my husband's faith transition was almost instant. It wasn't as if it was woven into every cell of his body. And I did appreciate Mormon Stories while deconstructing, but I didn't trust John Dehlin. It was something about his tone of voice, something about his swagger, and yet his guests were the reason I watched, not John, but the stories of his guests. And I actually tried to have my story told. I contacted John, Bill Reel, RFM, Jonathan Streeter, and thank God for TikTok, because none of these men and their gatekeeping wanted to hear my story. I did submit my story to Sam Young through the Protect LDS Children website, but that's still not the same as this audio-visual format in which you can look in somebody's eye and hear their tone of voice and judge if you believe their story or not. And so he's useful. I can see that John's useful, and he has the power to bring in big names like Simon Southerton, or he went and got interviewed by Leah Remini, or Sarah Edwards, the survivor from NXIVM, was on his show. That doesn't mean I trust him. And I'm sorry, but anything like Stripe Polka Dot said, anything that at all resembles Mormonism, like these conferences, hell no. I have never been to any Mormon conference where I felt like I was like I belonged there. I always felt like I was out of place, even as a presenter. Even as a speaker, you look out at these ladies and they hate you, or they don't believe you, or they're skeptical. Because, I was asked to, talk about things I actually did, like using my food storage. And so, community's nice, but at the end of the day, you're still stuck with me, myself, and I. And maybe this faith transition for me has turned me into somewhat of a misanthrope. So I thank you again for being my community, because without you, I think that's what I would be. And that's a pretty lonely place to be sometimes, but for me, I'd rather be safe than miserable.